Good morning, good morning, good
Good morning, good
morning.
morning, good morning. Happy birthday. Pump up the volume, pump up the volume. Okay, let's go. Let's be serious.
Out the gate, out the gate. Happy birthday. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm blessed.
Yes.
I just feel so blessed and grateful to be here. Oh, yes, yes, yes. To your question, I see it, I see it, I see it, I see it. So I know where to look. So good morning, good morning. September 20th. Yeah, that's the day. That's the day.
I guess that's probably been your birthday your whole life.
Uh, isn't that something how that works? It hasn't moved around. It's stable and consistent.
All right, happy
And
birthday
we're
to you.
going to talk a little bit about being consistent and stable and doing the work this morning. But it looks like we're back in the helicopter today from your.
Yeah, I think you're due for a helicopter ride someday soon. So I think you deserve it. It'll change your life. You'll never be the same.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you so much. Well, we love the graphics in your background, giving us that bird's eye view, giving us that bird's eye view. Well, Marcus, I'm really excited this morning about our topic on manifestation
Okay.
and folks attempting to manifest over their mess. I believe that these recordings, these live broadcasts need to really, really be pushed out by folks who are viewing. And we're getting a lot of responses. I just want to say this as well. We're getting a lot of responses from our viewers and how much they love the content, how helpful it is, the reminders they get, the motivation they're receiving from us. So our work and labor of love indeed is not in vain. It's not in vain. But I'm excited today about
Yes.
manifestation and us drilling down on three more blockers, hindrances to manifestation. And they are doubt, fear, and negativity. Doubt, fear, and negativity. Doubt, fear, negativity. So, from your worldview, from your perspective, your vantage point, I should say, when you hear that a person is filled with doubt, filled with fear, and it's constantly just negative, just the glass is half empty, they're pessimistic. What does that immediately in your training and expertise it communicate to you about that person?
Well, it communicates volumes in terms of how they live their life. And I think one of the things that if something could be offered to maybe help circumvent or redirect, reprogram that type of life and that type of mentality, one small thing that could be done, even though it might be a challenge, is watch what's being inputted into one's mind. Because I've got family members, and I talked about it even just this past weekend. And I remember my grandmother, she had a TV in every room, and in every room was horrible negative news going on all around the world. But that is going into the subconscious. I've even got family members, they will actually go to sleep with the TV on. So now you have no idea what's being programmed into your subconscious mind. So just stop watching the news. I mean, I was with my aunt yesterday. She's in her 80s. I think it was, yeah, I'm pretty sure it was yesterday. And I said, why are you listening to the news nonstop? She says, well, I want to know where all of the terrible things are happening around my house and how close am I to the most recent killings? How close is that happening to my house? Well, I didn't have the audacity to say to her, why does it matter? What are you going to do if it's 10 feet, 100 feet, or 5 blocks? Based on where it's happening in the proximity of your home, what difference will that make? Anyway, the point is, if a person could just stop watching and filling their minds up with negative news
Mhm.
all the time, hours upon hours a day, that right there, coach, can make a radical difference in one's mind. Just that alone. And that just really winds up permeating into the doubt and into the negativity just because of what's being inputted into the mind often many, many hours per day. Multiply that times several days a week and multiply that in the course of a year. Tons of negative stuff is being programmed, and the
Right.
person doesn't even know it.
Right. I know you've spoken previously also, and we have to go here we would be derelict in our responsibility of bringing quality value to folks. There are people who have been raised in environments from childhood up, and been programmed with negativity, negative thoughts about
Right.
themselves,
Right.
self-doubt. Has impacted their confidence, how they view themselves, how they think of themselves. We know that a double-minded person, someone who has a double mind, that doubt going back and forth, will never achieve their dream life. They'll
That's right.
never receive manifestation. They'll never receive those blessings and those things that they may desire in their heart, because their mind is going back and forth. They can't make up their mind,
Right.
but it is all stemming from that negative input. Some of that negative input does come from childhood, not necessarily just from parents. We have talked about on school campuses. I remember, wow, I didn't expect this memory to come popping up, but here it is. I remember being a student in Catholic school as a girl coming up. I went to attended parochial school, and just being darker complected than most of the other girls, especially in my class, or even on that campus. And the things that little boys would say, the things that other girls would say. And for a period of my life as a kid, going into my teenage years, I got over it in my teenage years, but going into it, it became something that I was so aware of and self-conscious of, and that negativity, viewing myself in a negative light because of something that had absolutely nothing to do with anything. I was one of the brightest kids in class. I just all of that, but it's really something how words and negativity can leave that programming in there and cause a person to begin to sabotage themselves. Oh, you're too tall. Oh, you're too short. Oh, your feet are big. Oh, you're dark complected. Or you're too light complected. You're too fat. You can't do that. Or you're too skinny. You'll never be able to do that. All of this negative stuff that results in doubt,
Yes.
us doubting ourselves, us having a duality in our mind. We want to, but then we don't. Then we step forward. Then we take one step forward and two steps backward, as my mother used to say, never accomplishing anything. So something that we always bring to the forefront here is get to the seminar in October. If you are really serious about what you're wanting to accomplish and wanting to achieve, call the number at the top of the screen. Just do it. Just do it. 15 minutes with Marcus and I will go a long way in helping you right yourself and get you on the right path. So we've talked about those external things and how they morph into us being afraid, having trepidation, procrastinating, doubting, and being negative internally, and then reproducing that. So, can you talk a little bit about self talk and how to begin to, what a person watching right now can begin to say or do to start the deprogramming process until they can get to a place where they come to the conference, the seminar in October, or they call us and talk to us on a in a session?
Well, I would say step one, you can give us a call today after we're off, and we can customize exactly a specific language which you can do and start right now. That's the first thing. If you don't call, then you can say, I would just tell you right now over the air that just begin to compile a list of the I ams, the I am statements. I mean, your journal alone, coach, has got a whole page full of a list of I ams. There's a couple here recently that just came on all the different talk shows promoting their new book. It's really a children's book. Well, that children's book that this couple developed recently is talking about nothing but a list of the I ams. For the last, I'm going to say 10 years, maybe for the last 8 or 9 or 10 years, my daughters, every time we do our prayers, and after they do their languages, they know 14 different languages in terms of the counting to 10 in 14 different languages now. Well, then after we done with all that, we do I ams. We do I am statements, and each one takes, we rotate throughout the night. I am a champion. I am enough. I am an excellent student. I am a doctor. I am a pediatrician. I am an excellent volleyball player. A list of I ams. If you just did that, if you never see us again, if you never talk to us again, if you never hear from us again, if you just start putting in there these I am statements, whatever you want to say, then it could cause a radical difference in the quality of your life. And the reciprocal is very important. I do life coaching, and I was doing life coaching yesterday with my client, and he slipped because he knows better. And he slipped and said, I am so confused. Whoa, that just whoop, 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 whoop. My daughters know, don't ever say I'm so confused in chemistry class. No. You say, I seek more understanding. I seek a higher level of understanding. You can reverse that. The reciprocal, yes. I seek more understanding. So I taught my client out of Columbia, South Carolina, to don't say I am confused or I am anything negative. Never. Right. Reverse it. I seek greater understanding here. So there's the answer. Just the I ams alone. Yeah. Do them in the affirmative as opposed to in the negative, and you can begin to see a change, slowly evolutionize your whole entire mindset throughout the day.
Because we want to see you successful. We want to see you accomplishing your goals. And so bringing these dynamics to the forefront is so valuable. Marcus, thank you so much for that. Begin your self-talk with positivity and replace your negative self-talk with positive self-talk, affirming self-talk. Now, there's two things that come to mind, of course. One is you've got to remove yourself from negative people. If they are consistently putting you down, you've tried that before. Oh yeah, we'll wait and see. Oh well, yeah, we've heard it all before. All that stuff that's laced with negativity that would cause a person to doubt themselves or think a little too long on, what if it doesn't happen? Or what if I'm not successful? Or what if I do fail again? And remove yourself from negative people, that negative input that you just discussed. And a lot of times we understand relationships and how it might not be the easiest thing in the world to just, oh yeah, that's easy to say, but not as easy to do, especially when those negative voices may be closely related to you. And God forbid you're married to someone who's negative like that. You need a whole 6 months of counseling and coaching, coaching to walk you through that process. But the second thing, though, that came to my mind as you were saying that, did you know I'm also a parenting coach, and I coach parents as well for to helping them be highly effective parents in parenting their children. One of the things that I did when raising my children, I never allowed anyone to say, oh, he's so bad. No, he's not bad. He's full of energy. Oh, he's got ADD. No, he's creative. And in fact, his mind is moving so fast. He's genius. He's genius level. And this is so just changing and modifying what my children heard, how I described them, even at my highest levels of being frustrated if they did something that was just, I can't believe you did that. I would always say, you're acting as though you don't know, but I know that you know. You are acting as though, and so that they can make the differentiation between and distinguish between me saying something negative and missing the whole point and internalizing that, and them hearing me affirm them that I know that you know, I know that you see, I know that you hear, I know that you're capable. So your behaviors, let's work on your behaviors because I know you got it.
Right.
And starting from that affirming place with them, it has worked wonders, and they're all grown and most of them have children now, but it has worked wonders. So that negative talk externally, especially when it comes to our kids or other folks that we're working with externally, when it's someone negative to us, all of that impacts our mindset, our frame of mind. What else would you share as we close and we're wrapping it up this morning? What else would you share with folks today that are watching and they're evaluating and assessing themselves and saying, that is me. That's my life. I've got to make some changes. What would you say to them?
I would say in closing that it was brought up by my client, the one that in particular, he said awareness has been expanded. So just becoming aware as we land the helicopter too, just becoming aware of what you're doing, what you're saying, and how you're saying it, that can make the difference. Expand your awareness. We can help you with that. I was growing up, and if we got near some stairs that's leading down to the basement, I'd almost would get beat to death because I'm getting near the stairs, and you may fall and kill yourself and break your neck. So when my mom and other family members would want to run over to my kids, as I started having kids when I had my 3 sons, running over to scare them half to death because they got near the stairs. I'm like, no, we don't do that here. We don't live in fear and all that kind of stuff. So
Wow.
expanding the awareness as we slow these blades down and come to an end. We look forward to talking to you again on Friday morning. Hey. Goodbye. We are out.
Bye. We're out.